Hey folks, it's your buddy Sam here with a quick message before we jump into this banger of an episode. It's a really good one, so buckle in. We got another message coming to you from our buddies at Card Mill. That's right, we're hashtag sponsored yet again. If you didn't check it out a couple weeks ago when we first announced it, the Card Mill Kickstarter is live, and man, it is crushing it right now. They have reached 3 stretch goals with the 4th right around the corner, and the Ghost edition of the Card Mill is probably within reach before this campaign is done. That's a unit that is semi-clear frosted, like your classic retro see-through Game Boy or N64 controller. You get to see all the internals, all the guts working while this thing is sorting your cards. If this is your first time hearing about Card Mill, well, let me tell you that Card Mill is built by players for players and can scan and sort up to 300 cards at once using image recognition AI and using pricing data from TCG Player and a digital portal to track your entire collection, all while keeping your cards safe in the process. If you play Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Lorcana, Star Wars Unlimited, or Flesh and Blood, or another TCG, and you have piles of cards lying around, then this is for you. This was built by a Magic player who was tired of sorting their collection more than they were actually playing. This device is built for collectors, casual players, and sellers alike. And there's still 13 days left to go with the campaigns. Go to cardmill.com/Howling Saltmine and take a look at the Kickstarter yourself. All right, folks, with that, we're going to jump into this episode. Oh, and real quick, if you're going to MagicCon Atlanta, make sure you keep 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Friday, September 26th, open. Don't do any events during that. You're going to feel pretty bad if you have something scheduled during that time slot. That's all we'll say right now. Keep it open. All right, let's jump into the episode.
One podcast, mining the Magic the Gathering community for salt. This is the Howling Salt Mine.
It's the Howling Salt Mine. The Howling Salt Mine.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Howling Salt Mine podcast, the podcast where we delve into those salty mines of the Magic the Gathering community.
Starting off strong. How many times have you done this?
That we love. Only 165 times. Put them in our mine cart and bring them right back up to you, our dear prospectors at home. As always, I'm your host, Sam, and I'm joined by my 2 lovely co-hosts, Mike and Tony. Say hey, guys.
What up? Hello.
Hello, indeed. And before we go any further, we got to shout out our nice tier. And this week we have Accidental TPK, Alex Ballix, Dr. Black, and Z. Z, they're so nice. So lovely. Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Appreciate your niceness. But it has to be said, we must mention it. The minecart is pretty packed today.
Yeah. Overflowing, one might.
I mean, this is an audio-only episode, but you guys can't tell, but I'm laying across Mike and Tony's lap in the front seat.
Acting as the seatbelt again. You've done it in the past. Yeah.
Yep. My feet are in the stirrups and my hands
I'm sure would have something to say about it.
My
But,
hands are chalked and I'm holding to I'm holding onto the handles for dear life.
Glad you chalked up first at least.
Yeah.
I was trying to be so quiet. You did your intro.
Really, the whole point.
So hard.
The whole point of that intro is to try to make the guests laugh a little bit. Is to just draw it out long enough until you say something.
The stirrups really got me.
We got some friends in the minecart with us. We have Kyle and Yah from That's a Good Card podcast. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
What up?
Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. This is a long time coming. We've been chatting about this for a bit, but life is busy and all that kind of stuff and time zones and crazy shit. But
It sure is.
Yeah, all that jazz.
Is the air conditioner reaching the back of the cart for you guys? Is that coming in, or should we tilt the fans a little bit?
Oh, no. You need to tilt the fan a lot. Where I'm at right now, I am absolutely sweating my ass off.
I come from a hot climate. This is okay.
I don't know if we have any to spare. I'm kind of working up a sweat being the seatbelt up here. So, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
see.
hard work.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
Sure you are, Tony.
Central air
Sure
in
you
my-
are.
I got central air in my portion of the cart, so we're fucking Gucci as all hell.
Where is the central air in accordance to the stirrups? Is it close by?
Yeah, my feet are actually really cold. So for people that don't know, That's a Good Card podcast is a cEDH podcast. You guys are on Spotify, you're on YouTube, you're probably elsewhere. I don't know. Are you guys
Yeah, Apple
elsewhere?
Podcasts.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All the
Everything.
places you can
All
find
the
audio
places.
podcasts. And it's an awesome show. We've talked about it before on our show, but you guys are kind of digging into niche, fringy cEDH cards and evaluating whether they're good or bad for cEDH. And you kind of have this awesome dynamic where one person brings a card and tries to convince the other person. I've been a guest on your show. So if people haven't listened, what are you doing? Why are you waiting around? Even if you don't like cEDH, I think you would still dig it. It's just fun to hear two friends like dig deep into an interesting card.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you bringing that up because we've actually gained a bunch of listeners who don't play cEDH.
Hell
but they
yeah.
really just enjoy the conversations that we have when it comes to like card evaluation. And it kind of just gets the
Love
creative juices flowing. So that's kind of the goal with it. Even if you're not a cEDH or TEDH tournament grinder type, I think we really just have good discussions around cards that really should see more play in certain situations. So
Yeah.
whether you're playing Rogsai or you're playing whatever BS fringe deck that you love and enjoy and trying to push it to its limits.
What do you
like,
mean?
That's
Kyle not
like
trying
that.
to call out the decks that we play. Or whatever.
I will say the conversations we had a little earlier with Sam talking about the pod composition of your guys' main group is a little questionable, but I'm rocking with it. That's for sure.
It was so funny. Kyle was like, dude, how can you be on Red Elemental Blast and not be playing Pyroblast? And I was like, half of the decks in my pod aren't blue. That's a dead card.
Yeah. I was like, pause. How are you not on this card? It's so good. And he's like, yes, so good into Obnixilis Lotho.
He was like, the Rockside players are just going to have their way with you. I was like, who's playing Rockside?
Yeah, that's true. If Tony's playing Rogsai, you're good. Don't worry about him.
Yeah. So I got to shout out how we met. You guys just cold called me, which was really awesome and cool. Back in Twitter, like a year ago, you just shot me a DM and you were like chit-chatting and you were, I think I had found you guys and followed you and you like hit me up to like say thank you or something. And I was like, hey, I really like your show and it's great. I was in this stint a while ago where anytime a new Magic podcast came out, I would listen to it. And you know, you hear a lot of podcasts when you're doing that. And I heard yours and I just started to like marathon through the episodes and just became like a huge fan. I mean, you know, we're joking a lot, but I fucking love fringe cEDH. So to hear you guys really dig into that shit and evaluate it is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also, I don't, like I've said this before, I don't listen to podcasts. And then I do listen to your show. So it's great
Hell
to
yeah.
get to have you guys
Thank
on.
you.
But I also like the cool thing about Magic is that cards deserve a 20 to 40 minute conversation with how complex, you know, where they are is and how they fit into things and how many levels it can interact with other stuff. And you guys give it the time to actually go into that. So like we sometimes struggle where we're like, okay, we've kind of talked about this card, but we got to keep going to talk about the rest of the stuff. And you can kind of give it its due. So it's a good show.
It's a good podcast.
It's like, you know, there's better shit out
Thanks,
there.
Tony.
I got to keep them humble.
Somebody's got to cut you down, you know.
I mean, you did say Bright Glass was bad, so I mean
That was all Yah. That was all Yah. No spoilers, but spoilers.
No. I said it was solid.
You did say it was
solid card. Not a good card.
You did say it was solid. I do appreciate that. So it's cool to have you guys here from That's a Solid Card podcast. Because I listen to this.
Let me ask a question. How did you guys actually meet?
Tony, that's one of our interview questions.
That's a good one.
Is it?
Oh, we cutting
Only
in
with
line?
the guests, only the double guest intro. questions. So
Well, then I'll fucking ask
Tony's
it.
not-
The
Tony's
interview
doing fine.
started.
So should I ignore him?
Yeah, I mean, basically.
this one doesn't have the conditions of the other question. This one is fine to ask up front.
Okay. Well, yeah, why don't you take it away? Why don't you tell them how we met?
I met Kyle first in a job interview.
True.
This is true. Yeah. Because I don't think I did your group interview, right? Like the place we worked
Nope.
did group interviews. And then because I was the person in charge, I guess, if you will, I did like the last round.
Big boss
and
man over here.
I interviewed Kyle and really liked him for the job and hired him. And then because I was a boss, I eventually coerced him into playing Magic. Or I found out he played Magic and was like, yes, come back here to this back room where we play Magic.
No, straight up, that is exactly what happened. There's like an admin office that like I would never need to go back into. And then one day they're like, hey, you should come play Magic. And I remember walking through like the back room and then like just like opening up the back area. And then there's just a bunch of people playing Magic at a table. I was like, wow, I thought that this was going to be like where the executive business decisions are being made. Nope. It's literally just a back room.
What
great.
what did you guys start when you were playing? Did you jump right into cEDH? Because in talking with you and like hanging out and stuff, you guys are like, you've said it before that you've never really played a ton of casual EDH and have like very little knowledge of casual EDH. Like I remember I showed you Gave Guru of the Spores card and you were like, what the fuck is this card?
Yes.
And I was like, how do you not know Gave? It's like the most common Abzan commander. And you're like, I've never seen this card in my life. So what were you playing? Were you playing cEDH right off the bat or were you playing like 60 card or what?
So when we first met, I had played a lot of Magic before, but I was kind of like out of it, didn't really play cEDH whatsoever, didn't really know anything about it. And I had told Yah that, and he had already conscripted a bunch of people from our work to play cEDH, and they were all like already had decks and everything like that. So I just kind of sat down the first time I went back there, and they handed me a Yuriko deck, and I played cEDH Yuriko, and I won with a Thassa's Consult combo my first game.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I remember one of our other friends, like backseat piloting behind me and just like pointing to one card, the Thassa's, and then pointing to the other card, the Consult. And he was, do you know what that does? And I looked up at him and I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good. But yeah, so when we first met, like cEDH is the only thing. Like I don't think we have ever played anything besides cEDH together. Yeah, have we? Unless you count like fringe cEDH, like
I don't
bracket
think so.
4. We had some high-powered stuff for a little bit, but it's almost always just been, as long as I've known Yah, we've just been playing cEDH.
Yeah, because before that, we did like the group did play a little bit, like played casual for probably a couple months. But like, the classic story, like you buy this piece and then you buy this piece and then it's an arms race. And the next thing you know, like people are dropping way more money than they should on like when they're working, like when some guy has hired them on at like close to minimum wage and like they can't
all of their knows everyone's salary. You're like, wait a minute.
Wait a second. Don't do that. Wait, don't do that. So yeah, it was a natural course to just go into cEDH because like that group was also one of those, we didn't know what the stack was. So it was a very classic, that group, like back in 2020, like classic. I already cast a spell. I've moved on. You can't react. We did that for a while until we watched some video. And we're
With cEDH, you did that?
Oh, no. With casual.
Okay,
So I played casual for a little while.
Sloppiest cEDH game.
This was pre-meet. Yeah. This was before I showed up. I want that to be known. I wouldn't let that shit fly. That's for sure.
Kyle came after like we learned a lot. And so by the time he got there, it seemed like we knew what we were doing. But I remember I don't think he remembers this. I remember arguing with one of those friends about how the trigger should be stacked for a Thassa's demonic consultation. Like it was like, no, he should hold priority on the cast. No, it's on the ETB. No, it's on the cast. No, it's on the after Kyle left, we still argued about it. Now, how young we were.
Wow, 2 months in casual EDH is crazy. Like, I mean, We've had an arms race, but that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's
dude.
the fastest arms race I think I've ever known. And I agree that is the typical thing that everybody starts an arms race. But you guys doing it for 2 months and be like, hey, fuck this shit. Let's get into cEDH. Feels
That's
like
nuts.
aggressive.
It's an accelerated arms race.
Yeah,
A lot of investment.
I will say when I first showed up and there were still murmurings of them playing non-cEDH when they were like, we're going to play some casual. The casual list that we were seeing was like Edgar Markov. It's like, that was like, or like Paco and Halden. And I was like, these seem like really, really good.
Yeah.
I wonder how you guys got here to the cEDH place.
So, how did you guys start making content together? Like, what was the next step in that evolution of your friendship? When did you start monetizing your friendship for cash?
I would say basically kind of what happened was I would be working in the office because I started off like working like the front desk of this job, ended up moving back into the office. And I would
Where the
be
magic, closer to the magic.
Way closer to the magic.
Where the magic
happened. Yeah, exactly. So I moved into that area and I was really close to Yah. And Yah and I would just talk nonstop. Holy shit, we are yappers. And our coworkers would get frustrated because we would be just nonstop talking about the most random shit all the time. So they told us we should make a podcast. And we, juggled with the ideas of what our podcast would be on for about or be about. And at first we thought we were going to do a fantasy football podcast because I was really into fantasy football. And then I wanted to get Yah into it. That was not going to work. But then eventually I ended up moving from where we were up to Seattle. And that meant we weren't going to be playing Magic anymore as consistently, which was really sad. So we kind of decided, hey, maybe we should start this cEDH podcast as a way to, stay in contact and be friends still.
Well,
over distances.
I didn't know we shared an origin story.
That's wild. That's the same shit with us and Tony.
Is that literally what yours? Is that literally? Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, so that's really how it happened. I moved away and I still wanted to be, a part of the pod back home and the crew. So we started the podcast.
Hell yeah. Quick question. Do you think that the coworkers legitimately thought you guys should start a podcast, or do you think that they said it so that you would shut the fuck up around them?
Both.
Oh, it was definitely backhanded. 1,000%.
You should start a podcast.
Save it for the podcast, guys. Am I right? Oh, that's wild. Well,
oh my God.
We did skip some steps here. Tony will be punished once we hang up, but let's jump into the interview portion. I will say
we're not there yet. Okay.
Well, that's the whole Tony
He
thing.
could have been like, oh, let's officially start it, but instead,
I had to dunk on you.
Oh, this is like the HR vetting interview, and then did we make it? Are we allowed to move on?
This was the lobby small talk.
Yeah, this is small talk. Exactly. I can't say whether you've made it or not. We're going to evaluate that right now. So I will say this is like it's kind of a grueling exam, really, is what it is. And if you do answer incorrectly, we will turn your mics off. So that's kind of how you'll find out if you made it or not.
Yeah. R.I.P. JLK.
Yeah, sorry, Josh Lee Kwai. That was a great episode, man. So our first question that we typically ask is, how did you get into Magic? Which actually, I don't know if we really got.
We didn't.
I don't think we really got there. We got how you both got into playing Magic together, but Kyle, you hinted at the fact that you played Magic well before this. So how did you originally get into playing Magic?
I got into playing Magic in Planar Chaos, Time Spiral type area.
Good
when I was a kid. Yeah, so I was a kid, and there was like my family would always have this like tradition of going to the whole family would all pitch in together, and we would all jam into a beach house every summer. So there would be an ungodly number of people in a beach house that should not have held the number of people inside. And one of those years, a family friend's boyfriend showed up, and he was super into Magic. And he was like, yo, everybody that's interested, there's a a local game store down the street. We should all go there and we can buy Magic cards and play. And a group of us went over there, including small young kid Kyle. And that's how I started playing Magic. I kind of got latched onto it after that. Played for a while, did the classic, stopped playing when I was later in the high school years and college. You know, I still kept my cards. Once in a while, I'd meet with a friend and they'd be like, oh, you used to play Magic? Do you know how to play? And I would teach them, but nothing super intense. But probably from when I was 10 to 14, I was like actively trying to hitch rides from people to go to F&M. So that was kind of like when I was really into it, and I was like the kid at the LGS.
Love that. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like the one where you get paired against them and you're like, oh my God, I have to play against this kid right now.
That kid crushes
But I
me
bet
all
you were
time.
the same fucking kid that I thought that about and then fucking whipped my ass. And I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, I played a lot of red deck wins and really pissed people off.
Yeah.
like really pissed people off.
What a fucking Chad, that boyfriend. Just marching into some family vacation and being like, let's go play Magic the Gathering, and having some success, and like a handful of people being like, sure.
4 people.
That's
Yeah, there was like
crazy,
4 people
dude.
being like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I think it was like partial, like, you know, when somebody new comes in and you don't want to like shut down the person who's, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be like, we're good. I'm going to go boogie board instead. Like, you got to be like, this guy, he needs some friends here. So I guess we'll go to the store with him, buy these Magic
It's amazing,
cards.
dude. I should have tried that with my wife's family.
Did they graduate from boyfriend, or did they not make the cut? The Magic wasn't enough to keep them around.
That's a complicated question.
Whoa.
All right.
I'm going to leave it at that.
I was going to say, we'll leave it there. How about you, yeah? What was your origin story? Let's shift real quick. Quick pivot.
I started playing. Everybody always remembers the block that they played, but I don't really remember. I remember a card, and I looked it up. One of my favorite cards at the time was this card called, I just really like the art. It was called No Rest for the Wicked. And I just looked it up right now, and it came out during Urza's Saga. So back in 98, which kind of lines up to when I remember kind of starting. It was a friend that got me into playing D&D. And then from there, it was this slippery slope down into Magic the Gathering. And then I played from probably 1998 till 2004, 2005, when I got into climbing and just was like, okay, these cards are nerdy. I'll go do something cool. Even though I was a basic.
Okay, cool guy. Okay, cool guy.
Probably I left it. I came back at some point during one of the Innistrad blocks, and then left it again, and then came back because of the pandemic, and just started. I started drafting Forgotten Realms. I think I got back in because I wanted to draft. Then just found Commander, and then from there cEDH, because I kept buying like cards that blew everybody up.
Right. I feel like so many things suffered during the pandemic. Magic was not one of them. It flourished. It became such a connection point for people. It was like, oh wait, we could do this remotely. It like completely changed the fucking game. It was
We're
wild.
so hungry for the gathering.
Yeah, literally. And I had so much fucking free time. Dude, No Rest for the Wicked is kind of cracked. I'm reading it right now.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this card did. I heard that you started playing in Ice Age, and I was like,
It's good,
Urza
dude.
Saga, and I was like, whoa.
Would you say that's a good card?
I mean, maybe. It's 1 in a black for an enchantment. Sacrifice it. Return to your hand all creature cards that were put into your graveyard from play this turn. So you can like sack your whole board away, crack this, put everything back in your hand, play it all out. It's pretty fucking good.
Is this a Corvold card?
It's a good card. I don't know for cEDH, but it's pretty.
No,
pretty
it's not.
It's a good Sir Conrad card, right?
Yeah,
for
it's-
Sir Conrad, because it would leave the graveyard and then ping people, right?
So
like
good for Sir Conrad. Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it's gross. It does do silly things with like Warren Soul Trader and Impulsive Pilferer, but
Yeah.
it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Mike,
It's
you're
fun.
trolling me by saying, is this a Corvold card? And then literally the gears started turning in my head. And I was like,
I
is
know.
this a Corvold card? I was thinking through all the things. I was like,
You're like, what cards?
Wild Cantor with something like this, or like this, like the sack make a mana creatures. That could be kind of interesting. Okay, and then I was like, wait a minute, wake up.
It's from Urza's Saga. It's not.
I do like the art of this dude just like cheesing. He looks so happy.
That's why this art has lived in my brain since 1998.
He's just like such a happy
Maybe
little
99.
demon guy.
And very interestingly, the Chinese version of the card has different art where the zombies are censored.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, it's because you
Yeah.
can't show skulls.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or dead bodies.
Yep. I thought you were going to say no nuts.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that, Tony. Their balls are out, which is crazy.
I think that one's got something hanging.
Is one of them in stirrups right now?
All right, now I have to fucking zoom in on this image. I think that's like a loincloth scrap, but you're right. There is something there.
There's something.
All right. Let's move on to the next segment.
What?
Of
Are you sure you don't want to just keep talking about zombie balls?
Brother, I could. Don't tempt me with a good time. So the next question I would like to ask is, what makes you salty? Kyle, what makes you salty when you play Magic, dude?
Oh man. So like the big one that I always tell people as a cEDH player is I really don't like when people don't uplift the winner of the game, or at least recognize the winner of the game and tell them good game. Good game, nice win, to me, with like a fist bump, should be like the baseline, in my opinion. This is mostly when playing with randoms, right? Or playing with people that you don't know. If you're playing with your friends, you can, flip the double birds and say, fuck you, like that's bullshit win, that kind of thing. Whatever.
Good.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Safe.
Yeah. That's totally fine. But when you're playing with a new person or a random person or in a tournament, I think it like it really grinds my gears when the first thing that comes out of somebody's mouth is like, oh, I could have won if it would have got back to me. Like, why did you have to pyroblast that last spell? Or like, oh, I told you shouldn't have pacted that. Now this guy won. That's BS. Gets up and leaves, like that kind of stuff really bothers me. And I think that the reason why this is so important to me and why it makes me so salty is like cEDH games and EDH games in general, right? This kind of goes past just cEDH, just all Magic games. I feel like there is such a large time investment into it, right? And your EV of actually winning a game is 25%, right? You're really not supposed to win that often, right? Statistically speaking. So making sure that that your wins feel good, whether you're playing with randoms or with friends, just like overall helps the community so much, because like that's like what you're playing to do, right? Especially in cEDH, you're playing to win the game. So when you get a win, like it's just a great feeling when your friends or whoever else at the table is just like, wow, that was a nice win. Gives you a fist bump, right? Like that to me is very fulfilling. Even if it wasn't a nice win, you should still be saying like, good game, nice win. You know what I mean? Like even if the line is the most scuffed thing you've ever seen and it took 40 years, even if it was, you should still, validate the person. Tell them they did a good job and that, a win's a win. They got there. Good job.
Sometimes a win's a win.
Yeah, maybe that's a hot take for a podcast that talks all about salt, but honestly, that's what makes me salty. Just somebody firing off and basically invalidating someone else's win through whatever coping bullshit that they spew out of their mouth.
Yeah. I think it would be a hot take if there weren't so many people that only have fun when they win. So yeah. It's like the reality of life. I definitely agree with you. I think that is like a fresh take of salt that I don't think anybody's ever really said. And it immediately made me think of my own games of like, do I generally say good game to people? Because I feel like I and many Magic players, shut the fuck up, Sam. Yes, I do.
I didn't say anything.
Not to me. You're fucking shaking your head over there.
That was for us here.
Yeah. Many people, I think, immediately go to, oh man, I could have won if you didn't do the thing. And I don't think they do it in like a negative way. They're just like, oh, I was going to pop off too. This is cool. Like, but they missed the piece of like, no, you won. You got there first.
Oh, and it's okay to have that conversation, in my opinion, like to like show your hand and be like, oh, look how sick this would have been. Like, that's totally fine. But it's just making that mental note to let the person know, like, hey, good game, nice win, is like, that should come first, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that if everybody hopped on that train, I think that the games would feel so much better. You know, when you go home, even especially as a new player, right? And you go home and tell, you know, your roommate, your significant other, your cat, like, oh, I played some games, you know, and I got a win. It felt great, you know, like that's what you want to say versus I've been in situations where someone's made me feel bad after a win or made it felt like it wasn't deserved because somebody blundered. And I go home and I'm like, I won, but like, it was kind of a weird game. You know, like I want to avoid that. I want to have that feeling of I won and it was great. It was fun, right? Not I won, but I didn't really win because somebody afterward told me like, if this person would have done this, then I wouldn't have won. You know, like that's a shitty feeling. So we want to get that shit out of there. If you won, you won. Congratulations. Pat on the back. Good shit.
I dig it, man.
Yeah, totally. We've talked about like the net enjoyment of the game. And if you're tearing down the one person who won and is supposed to be enjoying it, like you've just made sure that everybody is having a negative
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Something that our beautiful video editor, Dan, does on their show sometimes is after someone wins, Dan will go around to every person and be like, what did you have going on? Like whether they won or lost. And it kind of gives you that moment after the wins happened, after you've congratulated the winner, to be like, this is what I had and this is what my game plan was and this is what I was going for. And it gives you that outlet because sometimes all you want to do is say like, you know, not that like I was just about to win, but like I had a plan. I wasn't just like doing fuck all over here, you know, and like and talk about your strategy a bit. And I think that sometimes when people lose, that like sneaks out in a way that, like you're saying, steals the thunder from the winner and brings a lot of salt to the table.
Yeah. You could get real psychological with it because I really do think it's a defense mechanism for a lot of people. But I mean, we don't have to dive. Maybe that's a stray grain one day to talk about that.
Not enough poop stories. Not enough poop stories to make a stray grain, I think.
What makes you salty? Let's get away from this.
You know, I've actually knew this question was coming and I drew a blank for a second, but I just thought of something. I don't really get salty that much. Like I do in the sense that I get real salty at myself, right? But like when I listen to your podcast and I hear these stories, like I think to myself, like, how would I react? And I'd be like, I just don't also think like I allow myself to get into those situations just because I'm pretty empathetic. Like I can sense people's emotions. And in my previous job, like part of my job was like talking to people sometimes after they've had really bad climbing accidents, like you just dropped a friend 50 feet, right? And knowing how to navigate those types of really sensitive, like sometimes you walk up to somebody, they know they just royally messed up somebody's life, right? And like that's now a conversation of like not having to like put blame, but like making sure things are all right. But then eventually knowing that we're gonna have to get to like, hey, you know, you messed up and let's talk about why you messed up, right? And so that has translated to like at least cEDH, where we can get these really tense games and it's not life or death. So it doesn't affect me in that way, right? It doesn't really blip the emotion unless I'm trying to win. Right. And in that case, I just feel I can feel my heart rate racing and stuff like that. But there's never really been a huge play from like, especially strangers that have really like tilted me. Now, I say all of that to set this up. There's one person in my life that, when I play games with him and he knows who he is, Jordon Sinclair.
It's Kyle.
No, Jordon. This one guy always gets me salty. I don't know what it is about him. I've never played against a person who I want to lose so much as this one person. In fact, I had just started playing with Kyle and his friends. We started playing more regularly. I got to know them a little bit more. And then one day after a game, one of our friends, his name's Sean sent me a text. Is like, dude, I don't know if I've ever seen you get so salty at somebody before. Like, we've been playing a while now. And I was like, yeah. There's just something about Jordon that just really...
It's your nemesis.
He's just my nemesis. I don't know what it is. So that's what gets me salty. It's people... Just Jordon. Just one person.
One guy.
What is the answer?
What does Jordon do? What does he do that like brings this ire out of you?
Oh, man. I don't know.
I know Jordon.
He's
nice.
He is nice. How do I put this? Like, man, you guys can decide...
I'm kidding, Jordon.
Do you know the character in South Park? I think it's Stan, and then he has a cousin that's kind of like whiny.
Yes. Yeah, I do. I know exactly who you're talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Can be Jordon at times, and he knows it, and he happens to.
The people at home are loving it.
Just, if you know, you know. And he is also he plays into that character so well, and and for whatever reason, I've known him a long time, and he just gets under my skin.
That's so funny. I didn't even know that about you. I feel like the way you were describing,
amazing,
you have a very disarming aura, I think would be a good way to describe it. Like, I feel like you can de-escalate things very easily. Like, if you're frustrated in a pod and Yah's at your table, that's fascinating to me. Like, I feel like I'm like, wow, something's pissing you off. But I guess if Jordan's at the table, then maybe that's a different story.
Whiny Jordon is hanging out. Oh man, that's excellent. I love that.
I love that. I love that you're putting him on blast. That's so funny.
I'm gonna make him listen to this one.
I love that because I totally get it, dude. Because I have specific people that I play Magic with, not as much anymore, but like there's a stray grants about one of them. People remember the story of Garth, where I just get every time I fucking play with them, I can't handle it, dude. It's like Tony said, it's like they breathe and I'm like, shut the fuck up, you know. It's just like
I usually just get to a point where I feel that way mostly about coworkers. I feel
like me and Mike. Well, that is some great salt to get us kicking off here, get us started, because we got a bunch more salt here, guys. We're gonna dive on into the mine, get some salty stories.
Wait.
And you passed.
Settle
You did
down.
pass. We won't turn off your mics. But Tony,
Hell yes.
You were saying something, Tony?
I thought you were going to tell him, but what is salt?
Tony, great question. Salt is, you know that Jordon guy?
Oh my God.
That is salt. Plain and
Say
simple.
less. This is the mess. Say less.
Oh man, we're linking this straight to Jordon.
Salt is frustration in the game. Salt is when you listen to a great Magic podcast and your friends are dunking on you on it. Salt is when people are misplaying, people got bad vibes at the table at the LGS. It can be social situations. It can be gameplay situations. It's anything that's ruining your experience of Magic. And we're here to talk about all of them so that we can learn from it and hopefully not be salty in a future game of Magic. As we like to say, it's an educational podcast.
Fuck yeah.
And being as we have the That's a Good Card guys here with us, we got to do some CEDH stories, you know?
Hell yeah.
Oh, baby.
Are these hand picked?
Oh, no. I'm going to fucking spin the wheel, baby.
Okay.
I'm
How are you
taking them
gonna
out with my
spin the
hand.
wheel?
I'm just going to put CEDH in and search.
No,
I think if I
it's
just
not.
put CEDH in the search bar and anything else, it'll give us a CEDH story, right?
It's highly likely it's going to be like a classic story of, we had a casual pod, and then this guy pulls up with his cEDH deck and stomped us.
True. From chapter 3 of Standard Salts, the textbook on salt. It's a classic one.
There's so many in our search box that it doesn't give me a full number. It just says 50 out of many.
What if you search some CDH commander names?
Yeah, that's the way to do
Yeah,
it.
like Rogsai,
Like
Blue
Rogsai.
Farm,
Yeah.
Kinnan.
Yeah. Rogsai and Blue Farm. Well, we'll just make it a Blue Farm
bullshit.
episode.
Yeah. How many Blue Farm things?
Yeah, that's definitely the way to do it. All right, this one comes just from our buddy Braden, and this post is titled, "It's not cEDH if it's not a tier 1 deck."
I love this already.
Well, he's telling us to fuck ourselves.
Yeah.
Hey, I play Sisay.
Me too.
When I said us, I really meant Sam and I.
I play Sisay.
Sometimes.
All right.
I play Mayo Sister.
Well, it's pretty close to Mike's these days. Anyways, let's get into it. The message goes, newer listener, like fresh out of 2025, really loving the content. I was just dumbstruck by a song of What's This Even Do as a cover of Scooby-Doo. Radical. It took me a couple weeks to think of the salty story I should submit because I have been in some pretty salty situations. To start off with some background, I was in a pod with people that had mixed views on Magic. One mostly played cEDH in tournaments. My brother, who has a view that if it's not tier 1, then it's not really cEDH. And the last get fucked fourth player in the pod was testing a pushed Nine Tails list as far as he can. And I was on a trash magic Nekusar list with spicy picks because I don't like full-on cEDH. Mixed pod.
Yikes.
Very mixed.
So the pod was something like the cEDH player on Timna Kamal, Nine Tails, Blue Farm, and Nekusar. The game started off as usual with some players ramping, and Nine Tails got out a decent start early, but after some removal was shut out. I got out some pieces to hate on the card draw, and Timna and Kamal got out some hate bears. Game progressed, Nine Tails was knocked out first, leaving the three of us getting each other strangely low health. This is when the salt starts to set in. With my draw hate out, and the other players start to say, okay, well, Rhystic Study is optional, so I won't draw from that. And then the other player saying, I also will not draw from my Esper Sentinel. Not optional. Just jumping in to say that one's not optional.
Yeah.
So the Blue Farm player, after that point, decides to use his Fimage on the Esper Sentinel as it was his only good target, in quotes. I don't have control of the Esper Sentinel and do not play much cEDH or Trash Magic, so I was unaware at first that indeed, but reading the card does explain the card. So it does. So after a couple turn rotations, the Timna and Kamal player is at 6 life. I read Esper Sentinel again and realize that the two other players have been playing their card wrong and missing damage from Nekusar. And subsequently, Timna and Kamal would have been dead to my draw hate. Clearly a little upset. I speak up that he should be dead, but it's just kitchen table and we can't roll back anyways. So they keep using their turns to attack me and kill me with hate bears. And then the Blue Farm player's turn comes and he wins with a Thassa's Oracle and Demonic Consultation. Anyways, thinking back on it, I don't think I played with that group over there again, as I did move across the city shortly afterwards. Thanks for the great content, guys. Keep up the sick covers.
Huh.
Nice.
Sam loved that.
I know that just glazing Sam the whole time.
I love that.
Appreciate you, Braden.
So I feel like you shouldn't ever do this, where you just mix all of these sort of levels of commander together. But I am curious a little bit on like a slightly different perspective, since you guys are both like tournament boyos to a degree, at least.
Yeah.
When somebody shows up with a fringe cEDH deck, like in a pod, do you like, are you salty about it, or do you shrug?
Absolutely
are you like,
not.
this is going to mess up the general dynamic of things? Does it impact the dynamic of things? Like, is it fine?
It does.
Like, it can.
So in my opinion, I think that the best tournament players, they all kind of understand the difference between like getting wins in Swiss and getting wins in top 16 or top 4, right? And there are some decks that are very much built to play against meta decks and are built with those things in mind, and a lot of times struggle against some of the fringe stuff that they're not expecting or not teching against.
Yep.
So yeah, sometimes the fringe stuff matters a lot, and it can be super impactful in the game, especially when you see like fringe stacks lists come in. Some people get really salty at tournaments when they're playing their Blue Farm or playing whatever S tier deck, and then all of a sudden they're playing against some random commander dropping stacks pieces for the love of the game, baby. And I think it's just one of those things where it like you just have to understand that when you enter a tournament, there will be fringe things always.
Yep. Agree.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting one because I feel like it almost sounded like the fringe piece here was the 9.5 tails stack, or 8.5 tails, whatever the fuck it is, you know? And like Nekusar is a little fringy, but
I've heard of Nekusar. I have never heard of 9.5 tails. That might help.
Yeah.
That might help. Like
That's
from
true.
a pure cEDH player, that's kind of, if I've never heard of it in my head, I'm like, all right, that might be a little fringe. If the fringe guy.
It's interesting that the story writer like says specifically that they don't like cEDH. So it's a tuned Nekusar, but it's very intentionally not a cEDH list. So there are these two, like the 9.5 tails deck is almost more of a cEDH deck in that case, probably than Nekusar, because I imagine they're building it as maxed out as they can. But probably power level, I bet they're operating kind of similarly at a tier below these actual cEDH decks.
If you guys were sitting down at this table, would you play?
In casual?
Yeah, it's like technically, like I consider this like a casual thing. There's like a top tier cEDH deck and then fringy bullshit. Like, would you be like, let's play Magic, or would you be like, let's not actually and do something?
I think as
different?
long as it's clearly been stated that we are playing cEDH and I am playing cEDH and we are going to be playing in a cEDH mindset, if they want to step in with whatever deck they think can hang, that's fine. But if they start getting salty because people are trying to win on turn 2, like that's on them. That's not on me. That's my thought process with that. So it has to be clear communication. Yeah, do you kind of see it differently?
No, I don't see it differently. I think this is why Kyle and I really prefer, as a whole, like playing cEDH. Is like I don't necessarily have to have this conversation, right? Like it's kind of expected already. Like if you say you're coming in and playing cEDH, like you can bring whatever, right? And I guess this kind of gets into the whole like, is cEDH a set of cards or is it like a mindset and like the like a philosophy, right? Is part of it. And I think it's a little bit of both, right? But you know, as recently as this week, there was a story on one of the other podcasts about how a father and son only had enough time after showing up at the LGS. They found out that there was a tournament happening upstairs of their local game store. So they bought 2 precons, but they only had enough time to sleeve one of those precons. And so they sleeved one of those precons, and I think the son ended up going up and jamming games into full cEDH pods.
I love that.
This kid won a game.
That's awesome.
Because exactly like I think Kyle was saying earlier, it's like these tier 1 blue farm lists were like, they were going, do you have anything to answer this attacking whatever creature, right?
It's
like
attacking 6/6.
Yeah.
yeah. Can you bounce this? No, I have 5 counter spells. This is not going to help, right? And so cEDH is very much a set of cards tuned to a meta and a mindset, and you can kind of sit down and play with whatever, as long as you're like Kyle said, like okay with potentially losing turn 2 or not doing as much. And I think that this story is just like kind of classic, like not really communicating what you want out of the game, right? It's something you guys say all the time is like, what do you want out of this game, right? Like, what are we looking for here? And everybody had different ideas.
Yeah, that's such a good point. In some ways in this story, it does seem like it's the author that gets kind of salty about these 2 cEDH players kind of teaming up to try and beat them a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Doing that and then also missing their own triggers.
Missing the triggers.
Yeah.
That part is frustrating. I totally.
It's like if you read your own card,
that.
you would know that you can't do this.
Which is very interesting to me. It leads me to believe that there might have been some nefarious missing of triggers, especially if you're a cEDH.
By the more experienced players.
If you're an experienced cEDH player, Esper Sentinel is one of the most commonly played cards in cEDH. You should probably know.
I feel like right now in this moment, I didn't know that it was a must.
Really?
I've been fucked by it so many times.
I feel like it becomes relevant in many.
Do you
many
play
games.
white
I
decks?
play it so much, but
Tony
less
used
so.
to
But I've definitely
play a Celestia deck.
I have played an Esper Sentinel many a time.
Yeah.
I just don't think I've ever been in a scenario where I didn't want to draw.
Yeah.
Where it like hurt me so bad that I was like, no. I
Yeah.
basically always was like, yeah, give me that shit.
Yeah, and there's also like I think that the Nekasar player probably had a hint of, you know, the classic awkwardness that comes with playing with new players, where they probably, you know, didn't want to say, hey, can I read that card real quick? But I mean, if it were me and I'm playing a deck that punishes card draw, I would be reading every card that my opponents play that say draw the card.
Draw.
Yeah. Like I'd be like, I'm making sure. Like but if the players were nefariously saying like, oh, it's a May, knowing full well that it wasn't a May, you're just a straight cheater. That's like max level salt.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That would be disgusting.
Yeah.
If I saw somebody like one of my friends or somebody else that I knew that information and just like being like, I don't want to lose to this guy. I'm going to lie about my trigger. Like that's complete bullshit.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And I think it's kind of whack to then be like it would have been so easy to be like, oh yeah, I probably would have been forced to draw 3 cards off this and now I'm dead because I'm at 6 life. And instead they're like, nah, but I am going to attack you with my creatures.
Yeah.
Like,
We can't rewind.
Yeah,
We can't rewind in
damage
casual.
like that, dude.
Like,
Not
what?
a kitchen
Draw 3
table.
cards right now. You take 3 damage. We're good.
Yeah.
So what do we think about the salt rating here on this one?
I think if it was nefarious or if the author even had a hint that they might have known it was an MA, it's like max level salt. Like this is a whole freaking salt quarry because it's just straight up cheating. If it was two Tonys playing who didn't actually know that S for Sentinel is an MA, and it just if it just was what it was, and that's the case, it's honestly like pretty low level salt to me. Like it's just kind of like it's kind of frustrating, but at the same time, if you're playing, like I said, if you're playing a deck that is reliant on people drawing cards, like you should be knowing when people need to draw cards or not.
First, there's only one of me. There'll never be two. And second, I think the thing I actually take away the most from this is what you guys said in the beginning of like, if everybody signs up for this to be a quote cEDH game, it like kind of doesn't matter what you want to bring. If you're just like bring what you got as like the most firepower, as long as we have that understanding. Because in my head, I was like, this game just had to have been scuffed and shitty because they had the different power level decks at this. But if that was an understanding going in, I feel like it maybe could be fun. And I hadn't really thought of that in the past of it's like, it doesn't matter as long as that's the intent. And I agree with what Yah was saying of like, you don't, in a true cEDH pod, you don't need to like say that.
100%.
But when you got other people bringing more casual type stuff to it, like it does need to be said.
Yes. It's like we spilled some salt on the table and I just want to like put my finger on it and then give it a little bit of taste. Like, okay, yeah, that's salty. Like that's what the story is to me.
You did that and then you brushed it off the table.
Yeah, you're like, that's fine.
Yeah. What was the guy's name again? Jordon? He wasn't in this pod.
Braden. No, not in this pod. Totally fine. But
Jordon.
But if someone had poured all of that salt on the table, it's a slightly different tier situation than it would if it was the accident that we like to
and
hope
it probably was Jordon who did it.
I think you guys are right. It's definitely low salt. I mean, it's an interesting one because like the title is a little misleading because it seems like there's going to be salt about people playing like non-cEDH decks. And maybe there was in like the pregame discussions and stuff, but it's a funny thing when someone plays Timna Kamal, which is already pretty fringy. But when you stacks the board to shit so hard, the game just kind of becomes fair casual Magic. And I think a casual deck can hang just fine. When you're just playing like one spell per turn and turning your creatures sideways, and that's the clearest win con that anyone has at the table, like it doesn't matter if you're playing Blue Farm or playing, a Bracket 4 Nekusar deck. It's gonna kind of be the same.
Yep. Well, should we get further in that mind, baby?
Let's do it. Let's buckle in. I'm going to just really
hold me tight.
I'm going to re-chalk and I'm going to dig my feet into these stirrups again.
Oh, baby.
This is a long one. This is dense and it's long. And this one comes to us from our buddy, Skywalker.
Insert Luke Skywalker theme music.
And what's that sound like?
Well, in my head, I wanted to do it, but all that would come was Back to the Future music. So I literally didn't hum anything because it was all I could think of. And I can't get John Williams in my head. All I've got is whoever the fuck did Back to the Future.
It's okay. I started singing Indiana Jones in my head and went, "Oh, that's not right."
Duel of Fates. That's why I was like, I'll make Tony do it.
I was trying to go through the entire John Williams mashup. There's like a mashup of all of his songs. I was like, I know somewhere in there is going to be Star Wars.
All right, this story is titled Sobposition Agent. Wonder what it's about. And it goes, "Hey, Salty Boys, thought I'd share one of my favorite stories with you all. Fair warning, it's a long one. For context, I have recently gotten really into cEDH. It started out a few years ago, but I lost interest due to the uninspired net deck that I found, coupled with the fact that I couldn't really get my playgroup on board because they fucking hate proxies. But in 2023, I found some content creators that I really like, shout out to Play to Win, and they got me thinking about brewing my own cEDH deck. In 2024, I decided to seek out people to play with, so I did what any rational person would do. I signed up for a tournament. Long story short, I'm in love, but this journey has not been salt-free. This story in particular happened at my second tournament. I was in a pod with a fine gent playing Derevi in seat 1, a cool dude playing Gitrog Monster in seat 2, and I was in seat 3 playing Jessica Timna. And in seat 4 was a young, salty lad playing Atraxa Grand Unifier. Turn 1 went pretty normal. Drevi plays a land into a mana dork and pass. Gitrog plays an Urza Saga, pass. I play Badlands, pass. And Atraxa, fetch land, pass. Pretty fair Magic so far. When it comes back around to my turn, I drop an Ancient Tomb. I had the opportunity to develop my board, but my eye catches the opposition agent sitting in my hand. The temptation of stealing someone's early game tutor was too great to resist, and I knew at the very least I could flash it in response to the Urza Saga and still get some value out of it. So I passed the turn with all my mana up. My greed paid off because on Atraxa's turn, they cast Demonic Tutor. When priority passes to me, I silently tap my mana, subtract 2 life from the Ancient Tomb from my life counter, and before I can get the card down to the mat, I hear the player say, "Really? You're going to do this to me?" Opposition agent hits the field. Get fucked, 4th player. I can't help the shit-eating grin on my face. The Atraxa player, staring at the op agent, says, "I'm just going to find answers for what they have going on," gesturing to the other 2 players. I say, "Don't worry, I can find them for you."
Oh my God.
With that, the Atraxa player begrudgingly hands me his deck. I ask, "Is it all right if I look at your hand as well?" "This is how the card works," he says, and I take a quick look and then go search his deck. Spoiler alert, I did not find interaction. I went and got the 1 ring. With no other moves, the Atraxa player passed to Derevi. Determined to go find an answer for my agent, Derevi player casts an Eldritch Evolution, tapping their mana and sacrificing their mana dork, putting it into the graveyard to pay the additional cost. I can't believe it. As they look up from the table to check priority, they see and look at my face and then look down at my board in horror. They immediately start to say, "Oh shit, I'm an idiot. Are we cool if I take that back?" Picking up the card before receiving an answer. The Gitrog player says, "Yeah, I think that's fine," then pauses and thinks for a minute. "Let's call a judge, just be sure that this is okay. You did pay your cost for the spell." It is at this point that I realize the Gitrog player is a complete and total homie. The judge, the judge comes over and rules that the spell cannot be taken back, which means I get 2 tutors in a row. With my second tutor, I went and found something. I can't remember. Doesn't even matter. The high that I was on was unmatched. After I'm done searching, Derevi passes the turn, muttering things like, "Whatever, I'm never playing this game again." The Gitrog player untaps, goes to first main, and Chapter 3 of Urza Saga goes off. I'm freaking out at this point. 3 tutors in a row off of Oppo. At this point, the Derevi player and the Atraxa player are beyond salty. They start talking to each other about me in a way that starts to make me uncomfortable. It starts with things like, "It's just over. There's no way he doesn't piece together a win, and I'm fully confident in his ability to win this." In hindsight, it wasn't anything egregious, but it was just weird that they were talking to each other instead of talking to me. In an attempt to make myself more comfortable and to maybe diffuse some of the salt, I say, "I don't know, guys. I don't think I have it. I might be too stupid to put something together." The Atraxa player, still talking to the Derevi player instead of me, says, "I never said anything about his intellectual ability. I'm confident in his ability to win this game." That was weird interaction. The Derevi player keeps saying, "Well, either way, I'm never playing this game again." The game does not end in my victory as all 3 players team up to stop me. Instead, the Atraxa player goes for a win, and the Gitrog player does insanely dope shit on the stack, stealing the win out from under Atraxa. It is, to this day, one of the coolest wins I've ever seen. It made me feel a lot better about the early to mid-game salt. I look to the Atraxa player and say, "Sorry about the turn 2 Oppo," to which he finally looks at me and says, "Nah, it's all good." Despite the occasional salt and minor discomfort, I can't be too mad about taking the plunge with cEDH. If it wasn't for my venture into the tournament world, I wouldn't have met Doug's dad, Jorge. Yo, bark, shout out Doug's dad.
Yo, big win.
Who would have never put me onto the HSM podcast. So excited to be able to jam cEDH games with prospectors in my free time and can't wait for season 3 of the HSM League, which kicks off today. Hey, congrats if you're in the top 16, because I think we just made that cut
to it
yesterday.
Yeah, and if you're not, get fucked.
Yep.
Where are you at, Tony?
Thanks to you.
All right, buddy.
Thanks to you 3 for creating such a cool community. Stay salty and watch out for open Oppo mana. Cheers, Skywalker. Well, thanks, Skywalker. Appreciate the epic tale there, dude. Good story, man. Some pretty classic salt. I mean, I don't like opposition agents.
I know you don't. And you play into it so much, and
Not
you get
as
so
much anymore.
mad when.
Oh, well, I'll play into open mana, but there were times where in our early cEDH, like where we've had things like that, where someone would have an op agent out And it would pass the turn. And so it'd be like, all right, I'm going to crack a fetch. And we were like, dude, the op agent. They're like, fuck. We
never let people take that shit back, though. We're like, it's CEDH. You don't get to take shit back.
True. Misplay bay, dude.
Yeah, the take back, especially in a tournament, it's not great form to try and swing a take back.
Yeah. I do like that the Gate Rog player did the thing that was the most correct in the moment to not create more salt, to be like, wait, let's just get a judge. Yep. I made an oopsie. Like, I shouldn't have told you could take it back. But wait, let's double check.
Yeah. I think that was their conscience on their shoulder, probably. Just being like, actually, that's kind of a snake move. Never mind. Let's just get an actual judge here.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you're so laid back that you're chill with the take backsies, and then you realize that you're sitting at a tournament and you're like, oh, wait a minute.
It's so cringe. The talking to each other instead of the player that played the oppo it's so cringe.
Yeah.
That element.
It's weird because they weren't saying anything particularly negative, but they are kind of ignoring you and like shifting into like commentator mode where they're just they're like, oh yeah, I think he's got it. Oh, he's definitely got it. And I think there's a bit of like, I think you can be saying nice things in salty ways that give off weird vibes, especially if someone has done like a powerful move that is making you salty, whether it's cEDH or casual, where you're just like, well, you fucking got it now. You're definitely going to win now. We got nothing. We're not going to win. There's no way to come back. I'm not untapping, where it's like, you're not really saying anything mean and you're just kind of saying factual stuff, but you're being a dickhead about it.
Yeah. It definitely depends on what the content of the words being said are actually like, what they're actually saying. Because I think that in a lot of these contexts, because I'm visualizing what is actually happening, and there is probably a shitload of dead time. There were just 3 opposition agents searches. So this other player is likely taking 2 to 3 minutes shuffling through a deck that they do not know. And it's going to be like I've been in these scenarios and there's a lot of awkward silence, right? And you don't want to talk to the person who is actively searching through their library because you want them to make a decision and continue on their merry way, right? So you're not going to actively like interrupt them and be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. If I wouldn't have done that, then you wouldn't have done this. Like, you're going to let them do their thing. So I actually am kind of going to go against, maybe play devil's advocate here. Kind of like in a That's a Good Card podcast. And say that maybe like it might have felt awkward for the person, but I think that there is a general feel in tournament play where if somebody is actively searching their library or taking an action that is going to take amount of time, or like post ad nauseum where they're looking through 40 cards and trying to figure out how to find their win, there's going to be conversations at the table. And it's going to be pretty common, I would say, to say things like, oh, man, I shouldn't have played into that. Like, he had an Ancient Tomb and a Badlands. Like, what was I doing? That was a silly thing for me to think. And the other person to be like, oh, I probably would have done the same thing. If you don't progress your board state there, maybe you're in trouble. Like, those kind of conversations, super common, super normal, in my opinion. It does kind of feel awkward.
I would have done the same thing. I would have cast an Eldritch Evolution into the opposition agent.
Oh, I actually did.
Exactly. Like, those are the kinds of things where it's like, they may not have been talking to you directly or like directly talking to you, but it could have been actual courtesy. Like, they could have been like, oh, you're searching through this library. Like, you do your thing, figure out what you want. Like, we're not going to bother you.
Instead of just sitting in silence, which is almost increases that tension.
Yeah, like what else? Like, what's the opposite that could happen? Like, you sit in silence, or they're like, oh man, you're so good at playing. You're so good at searching that library. Damn. Wow. Oh, that one right there actually is a really good one. You should probably take that and use it with the other thing, and then you can win with that. You're like that's just not going to happen, So I can't, like, I'm not hating on it. I will say that. I think that there might have been a little miscommunication, or like the intentions weren't really clear, and it could have felt a little awkward. But they might have been actually trying to protect the guy.
Yeah, I like that take. I think sometimes there's like a sweaty tension that can happen when you feel like you're taking up all the time in a cEDH game, like when you're tanking, when you're piecing together a win, whether you're in a tournament or just playing casually, where you're taking a long time. And I think that if other people are talking, maybe you're feeling very exposed and like vulnerable in that moment. And you can kind of look at those conversations that are happening on the side or read into those things in more of like a negative light than you might if you're just kind of typically moving through a game quickly and not eating up all that time. Like I've definitely had situations where I feel like I'm eating up all the time at the table. I'm like sweating. I'm fucking stressed out. And it's just like, I'm almost done. I'm sorry, guys. And I just feel like, you know, I'm like, I have to think about this a little bit. I'm really sorry.
And they're talking about me.
Yeah. It's really only been like a minute, but it feels like 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry, everybody. This never happens, I swear.
Also, the second part of that experience of having people say they'll definitely be able to put together a win. That when someone says that about my board state, it's one of the most frustrating things because
and the first thing I got was a 1 ring. Not gonna have me win the game on my turn.
Because if I am about to win, that's terrible because now the pressure's on and like the political element of it is like, don't call attention to that. I'm trying to win. Stop saying that. And then if I'm not about to win, I just feel incredibly inadequate. Like you're seeing a win that I'm not seeing somehow. Like how I'm supposed to know my deck in and out. I should see what this line is. What do you mean I'm going to win? I don't see it. So,
the amount of times that Mike has done this over my shoulder when I'm playing Sisse, it's like...
I save it until after you're done.
Dude, there have been so many where you're like, I think you got it. And I'm like, do I?
Like 10 when you were starting.
Like, where is it?
When you were starting.
Definitely when I was starting.
And that was before I could read stacks pieces too. But I don't know. What do you guys feel that same thing, or is that just me?
Does this go away? Does that ever go away? that stress?
No, never goes away. I don't think.
No, it's definitely stressful. And I feel like I've had it happen to me too many times. I also do it to myself, but it's because I know I should actually win. And normally I should. And then I fuck it up.
Yeah.
But whatever. You live and you learn, baby.
As a PSA, Tony, if you start playing my Corvold list, you're going to become a super dirtler. And once you become a super dirtler, it goes away. It goes away completely. You can take 50 game actions. You can tell people to kick up their feet, throw them in the stirrups, like, because I'm about to take a 40. Yeah, get ready, I'm about to take a 40-minute turn, and yes, you will lose at the end of it. But honestly, like the whole like stressing because you take too much time. Yeah, honestly, when we play, I feel like sometimes you feel that a little bit. And because you start apologizing for taking up too much time. So is this something that you kind of like, what are your thoughts on this story?
I think the first thing that stands out to me is be okay punting, right? Like everybody's done exactly what you guys described. Like everybody's gone into an opposition agent and gone just completely blind, right? Like that was like 5 games ago. That wasn't just like 30 seconds ago. And I think, I can definitely feel the pressure, but I'm just kind of like this apologetic kind of person. Like, I really pride myself on having efficient turns. And one of the things I'm trying to work on is to think through my lines a little bit more, because it is very classically like, oops, if I had just stopped to think for 45 seconds, I would have pieced this together and realized this is how I win. Right. I did that just the other night. And then also like, I haven't decided if this was like really big brain of those players, like that conversation piece, or if it was them kind of giving the game away potentially. It's like, don't speak like that. Like, don't go, oh, do you have anything for this, Kyle? No, I don't got anything. Like as a person searching, like I love that type of information. Like I want that kind of conversation. And I mean, my whole point of like when I sit down is like to get you to start talking like that, right? Amongst yourselves, right? Like to make it as that casual vibe so that you just start saying things,
revealing shit.
You shouldn't, like, you should not be sitting there saying, oh, he's got it. Like this, there's no way he doesn't have this, right? Like that tells me like, oh, okay, they think I have this, which means they probably don't have much to fight. So I'm going to, play to those outs, right?
Yeah, like, and play a linear line or something like that.
Right. Like something I had to learn while somebody's searching is to not talk through lines, right? Don't give them any more information.
And don't say what you think that they're going to get. You know what? That makes me salty. Dude. Holy shit. That is so salt inducing. When somebody says like, oh, they're just going to get this. And then the person goes, oh, you know what?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I guess I'll get that. Oh my God.
I will grab that.
We're so fucking bad at that. Our whole pod. Well, me and Mike really are like, because we're
you
so,
two are the ones.
and we're so into
just coaching Tony to the win.
I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I've become aware of that experience, but there's been so many. I've given Tony too many wins, and I'm trying to correct this.
There's definitely been times in the past with both Mike and Sam, though it's definitely been Sam more than Mike, where you've just said, "Oh, he's gonna get this card," and I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
you know what?
I should get that. I was gonna get a fucking win."
That's a good one. Yeah.
And sometimes you do need to do that when it's like a X's to tutor on the stack,
Right.
you know, like, and you do need to talk through it, but that's before the search starts happening. Once they're in the search, like there's no reason to be talking about it.
That is the thing. Because I mean, we do have some fringier decks in our pod where like something can come out and now the game is over.
Yeah.
And so it's like, in particular with Sam's deck, like he can just tutor out pieces where it's like, all right, we might have to interact now. So does somebody have interaction? Because it could be one of these three things, and then like, what do you do? But
I'm just a little guy. I don't even know what you're talking about.
What do we think about the salt rating here on this one?
I like it, man. I mean, it's a middle level of salts. Like, I think it's very relatable to me because I think about my first tournament experience and just like sweating in the seat and feeling like I was fucking up when I was doing good stuff and feeling like I was pissing off other people when I probably wasn't and it was all in my head. So I think it's a very relatable salt to me. This is a familiar taste. And overall, I think it's pretty low salt. Like, it sounds like the experience was great. You found CEDH. There's a nice cherry on top at the end here. You know, it's just got that familiar tang.
You found the pod too.
Yeah.
You found Jorge. You found Doug's fucking dad.
Bark, bark.
I think the take backsy attempt is the like primary salt in this to me, because like that's going to put everyone on edge to have that moment. It's like, it's uncomfortable for the player to want to take it back and to ask for it. It's uncomfortable to try and resolve it. And as great as judges are when they get involved and set things clear, sometimes even just like, okay, we needed to get someone else involved in this game can really throw off the, okay, casual vibe we're all just playing like the cards, like kind of the environment Yah was talking about.
Throws off the Emperor's groove, bro.
Yeah, I think it's like a potato chip level of salt, where it's like the first time you have a potato chip,
Tasty.
I couldn't imagine when, as a child, you're like, wow, that's salty. But it's like, yeah, but it was kind of like, that's how it's supposed to be, you know?
But I loved it.
It's like, well, but that's kind of like what it's supposed to be. I will say something I didn't mention that I want to highlight that I love about this story is that the person got owned by this Gitrog in a really cool way, and they loved watching it happen. The way that they validated the win, they didn't tell us what it is. It's obviously some kind of dredge draw loop and probably OBM pinged down everybody with Shuffle Titans is my guess.
Yeah.
But I think that is a wonderful nugget of information that they added to the story that leads me to believe that they are going to be a wonderful member of the CEDH community moving forward. So I like that a lot.
But you don't know if they did it at the table. They did it after the fact.
It doesn't matter.
So
like
maybe they suck.
The fact that you can find joy in watching others win in a 4-player game where your EV is 25% is awesome. That means that you're probably stick around. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also really cool and like rare to enjoy watching a Gitrog player jerk themselves off for 20 minutes in front of everyone else.
Oh my God.
Damn, keeping it real.
Damn. I'm sorry, Gitrog players out there. Sam didn't mean it.
He did. He did. Sam's also the only one of us that has played Gitrog before. So.
I want to play Gitrog so bad, but I'm too fucking dumb for Gitrog.
That's what I found.
That'll make me really stressed.
That's what I found. I was too dumb, and it was the stress too. It was the exact same stress of me taking a fucking 30-minute turn to try to execute the win, and everyone being like, "Do you know what you're doing?" And I'm like, "I don't. Please shut up." All right, you guys ready for our third and final story here? Should we rip into it?
One. Lay it on me, baby.
All right, this one comes to us from our buddy Crixby. And the post is titled Self-Induced Salt / A Tale of Two Upkeeps.
Ah, like the book.
Yeah, like A Tale of Two Upkeeps, the book.
Like 2 cities. Don't be a
Tale of Two
fucking
Cities.
dick.
Yeah.
Tony knows how to read, Sam. Do you?
Not really.
I just finished a
I
book
can't
last
get
night.
Oh, did you? You were literally reading this book yesterday?
No. I was reading a book last night,
Oh.
not this book.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the story goes, Dear Sam, Mike,
It's just
and
proof
Tony.
that I can read people. It was an audiobook. I'll admit it.
We weren't even pressing you.
We were. I was just assuming you were
believed you.
reading something,
Pressure.
you know?
I saw the pressure. I felt it.
Dear Sam, Mike, and Tony, hello. I trust this email finds you well. Big fan of the show. Thank you for creating a space to talk about emotions in the MTG community. It helps me and hopefully many other listeners. But anyways, over the past weekend, my brother and I attended our first proper cEDH tournament. We are in South Africa, and the cEDH community is not too big, but we had about 7 pods going in total.
Wow.
That's fucking cool. We got listeners
Way
in
to
South
go.
That's
Africa,
awesome.
baby.
That's way cool.
Hell yeah. I wonder how many LGSs there are in South Africa.
I don't know. Email us back. Being relatively new to cEDH and being a Simic enjoyer, sorry, Tony, I had brought my Kinnan deck as I thought it would be more competitive. It was not. Kinnan's infamy as a boogeyman of cEDH fucked me over. On turn 4 in my first pod, which was Kinnan, Perforos, Goblins, Noctis, and Aragorn the Uniter, my invasion of Ikoria, X=2 to fetch Fairy Mastermind, got countered by Pact of Negation. Aragorn, who cast the spell, had no mana to pay for the pact, essentially losing the game for no reason on his next upkeep.
What?
I questioned the decision. Was losing the game in order to stop me from winning that important? It must be said that I have played with some of the people at the event, but not with this particular player. The games carry it on with little else to say, but then we arrive at game 4 out of 6. At this point, we've been playing cEDH for roughly 4.5 hours, with my previous game taken to the time of 80 minutes and ending in a draw. I was cooked, fried even. Nonetheless, I shuffled up in a pod with myself in seat 1 on Kinnan, the 4th player, Atraxa, in seat 2, my brother on Celeste in seat 3, and a cEDH regular playing Yuriko in seat 4. The game was going well. I had managed good control of the board. Atraxa had successfully cast a culling ritual, setting everybody, including himself, back. Using his newly found sweet culling ritual mana, he attempted to cast Atraxa, but this was inevitably countered. After this, he cast a Necropotence, going to 9 life. All he had to his name were 2 lands, a Necropotence, and a 1 ring with 5 burden counters on it.
All he had?
Yeah. But by my turn, he was on 1 life, going to die to his 1 ring trigger on his upkeep. During my turn, I had managed to tutor for Basalt Monolith and was ready to go infinite. At this point, I fucked up. After tutoring, I had put my hand back into the deck and was about to start shuffling.
Ooh.
We called Kyle just had a visceral reaction.
Oh, man. Continue, Sam.
We called a judge because we did not know what to do. I'd gotten my hand back out knowing what was in it. Significantly, Thrasios was in the hand. The judge said that it would be the table's choice as to whether I can keep my old hand, which I revealed to the table, or draw a new 7. The table decided that I should draw a new 7. Fair enough.
What?
I was tired and it was...
What? That's not Comprel.
Fair enough. I was tired and it was a careless mistake. I still had the Basalt, which would go into my hand and net me infinite mana, making my life a bit easier for the next turn cycle before seeking another win. Back to the 4th player. Knowing that he would lose to the 1 ring trigger in his upkeep, he blew up my Basalt Monolith before taking 5 damage from the ring and dying. Again, there's no reason for this, and similar to my first pod, it seemed like a strange decision to make. With this, I was dead in the water and activated Kinnan twice in response to the destruction of the Basalt and whiffed. On the next turn cycle, Yuriko won by flipping a Peer into the Abyss off of a trigger and killing me. In conclusion, me shuffling my hand into the deck was stupid, and I could have won. But also, what's with people that I've never met before going out of their way to sabotage my game, either at their own cost or knowing that it was too late for them? This left a salty taste in my mouth, but was remediated by some enjoyable games to finish off the day. End note, this is what I get for playing Kinnan. Fuck that stupid druid motherfucker. Thanks, dude.
Wow.
Wild. 2 game-ending spite plays and shuffling your fucking hand into your deck, dude.
I mean, that's brutal.
This is wild.
So do you guys have experience with the shuffling part? Like Kyle, you said like that's not comp REL. Like how does that get resolved? If you know.
I'm not a judge, but what I have seen and what I thought was what it is. So if somebody shuffles their hand into their library, say they have 5 cards or whatever, it doesn't really matter. The judge wouldn't be able to rule that they get any of those cards back whatsoever. Unless there were cards that were revealed information and known to be had in hand. Oh. So like if the table knew that there was a card in their hand because it was revealed information, then they might judge rule that comes back. But I'm not a judge. I'm sure our listeners will let us know. But it's absolutely not, oh, you had 7 cards. Okay, you get to wheel, because you could just abuse the shit out of that. You could be like, oh, my hand's bad. Let me just pretend to shuffle it into my library. Oh, I get to draw 7 now. Thanks, judge. Here's the 20. I just slipped you. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that's really, really strange. I don't think I've ever shuffled my hand into my deck before.
I feel like somebody's cast like a time twister before. And somebody before like priority went all the way around was just like up,
yes,
and like shoved their hand into their deck because they're like, this sucks, yeah, and then it gets countered and they're like, oh,
yikes.
But never in like a tournament scenario. So it's just like us, right? And it's like usually people are like, yeah, these are the cards I had, so I'm just gonna get them, and we just like do it that way. But
what about the 2 big salty plays in this? What do we think about those? In one, you get pacted, and in one, they're already about to die.
It feels like people who haven't like played enough cEDH, I'd almost argue. I think it's like you think you're supposed to play to your outs to a degree and like do things and play all of your interaction, but eventually there's like, I don't know, an understanding that sometimes comes from learning and doing it, and somebody being like, what the fuck? And you talking about it and being like, I guess I shouldn't have done something because I can't win and I'm impacting the game in a way where it's like unfair to you. Because that's what it boils down to, right? Like you have it, you're allowed to do it, but whether you should or not, it becomes a social thing in this supposedly competitive game. And like, I don't know, it's kind of like weird. I agree that they shouldn't have done anything, but I'm just saying, I think there's kind of like a almost weirdness to it, that it is this like social casual aspect, but again, you're not impacting. You can no longer win. So what does that actually mean about your role in the game anymore? Like what should you be doing?
Yeah, I think you should take this one, especially in regards to the Pact thing, because
I fucking hate Pact.
You know how I feel about Pact. Okay.
I think Kyle and I both have, I think Kyle's going to have a similar view to me here. It really kind of depends, right? In a tournament, I agree with you. In a normal, casual setting, I'm not going to fire off a Pact to potentially king make somebody else or stop that win. In a tournament, I'm going to take game actions that will, if a draw is the only, and this is why I think cEDH and tournament cEDH gets such a bad rap, like, is because people really disagree with this point right here, is that the point of a tournament is for me to try to win the whole tournament, right? And if that means that I have to take a draw, almost any game action that will lead to that draw, right, is probably on the table. If this is late game and like you're looking at time coming up or time has been called and you know you need to not let Kinnan untap with a basalt, you blow up this basalt.
Interesting.
If you know that you can get a draw out of this game, and that draw may or may not be the difference between making top 16, right? Like in your league here, right? Top 16 was decided by like 1 point, right? Like it was the difference between 6 points and 7 points, right? So a draw can make a difference between continuing on into the next round.
Yeah, and for the listeners who aren't aware of like the generally used cEDH like
points
point system or tournament system, a draw is worth 1 point. If you are dead in the game, as in you have 0 life, you are out of the game, and your table draws, you still get the point. You still get the draw point. So it doesn't matter if you couldn't pay for the Pact and you died. If you stopped a win on the stack, and then that table's left in this weird game where now everybody kind of doesn't have anything and it eventually goes to the draw, you still get your point. So it's a very weird aspect of the tournament system. That being said, draws are worth 1 and wins are worth 5 in the majority of tournaments. So, but the majority of time, like Yah is saying, the top cut is decided by a point.
So you should pact for points. That's what I hear.
Yeah, literally is the reason. And I don't want to like encourage this part of it of
Agreed.
cEDH because unfortunately, like this is where we're at with it. And a lot of times now, seasoned players have kind of developed into having a conversation instead of doing this.
Yeah.
So the person says like, I have this pact. We can all accept a draw now, which becomes like this weird, like hostage taking situation is what people have coined it. Or they can just say, don't cast it this turn and I won't fire this off. And that's kind of like what normally ends up happening. That being said, I think Pact is a horrible freaking card for cEDH and EDH in general.
Hell yeah. I think it sucks.
On our Patreon, I did like a 45-minute rant with Yah, where I just said, Yah, I need to just get this off my chest. And we need to just have a full podcast dedicated to talking about why Pact of Negation is bad for cEDH. So thanks for giving me this platform to talk about that. Before the bans announcements or the unbans, the Gifts Ungiven unban announcement, I had like a Twitter post that popped off a little bit. That was literally me saying, I don't care about Ristic Study. I don't care about getting Jeweled Lotus back. I don't care about any of that. The only thing that needs to happen is that Pact of Negation needs to be added to the Game Changers list and then subsequently banned on the next go around because of how toxic that card is for cEDH and EDH in general.
Yeah. I dig it, man. I fucking hate that card. I think it's bad.
Yeah. Just like a little teaser of it. One aspect of it is like there is literally never a time where the person who casts Pact of Negation is happy that they're casting Pact of Negation.
Yeah.
And someone might say, counter argument to that, what if I'm protecting my win? Because I know that Mike just made a face like, yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
Face I made.
Well, guess what, Mike? When you cast that pact, that feeling in your stomach goes, oh shit, I guess I'm all in on this. Like, I guess I have to do this. I don't want to cast this, but I'm going to have to commit to this. Here we go. Like I'm all in. And that feeling is not necessarily one that a lot of people chase. Some people do. Some people are like thrill junkies and they're like, yeah, baby, let's do this. Other people are like, oh, begrudgingly, I guess I have to cast this, So that's my counter argument to that. But anyway, Pact of Negation, shit card. Please, if anybody who has any sway in any aspect of the ban list listens to this, please consider that.
You heard it, Lua. You heard it.
The point system of a tournament does incentivize you to sometimes play Pact like this and to sometimes take some of these moments.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big difference between the two Spite plays in some ways as well.
Yeah.
The first game sounds like it's pretty early and that they are,
which is weird,
going for an early win and they're doing something. And for some reason, the tutor for the mastermind is really important, which I didn't quite follow, but was what they described.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that seems like just Spite not understanding exactly how the game's going to go. It's like too early to be playing for the draw in that way.
Yeah.
And it feels
unless
like
it is clearly a win on the stack, then I would say like, if it's clearly like, oh, this card that they cast even 20 minutes into the game is going to win them the game, I think that you still make the argument of pacting it because there's a chance the game plays out another 60 minutes and it does end in a draw.
Yeah.
Which is a tough pill to swallow if you're not a cEDH player. But in the context that was described, I don't know if that was the case.
Yeah, I'm not convinced yet. I'm not convinced based on what was said to be on the table. In the second one, it sounds like it's way more reasonable. They're at a game that has gone very, very far. There's 7 stacks there's 6 burden counters on a 1 ring. There's like all this different stuff that kind of indicates this is a very late game. Like, yes, you remove the piece that's definitely going to help to win the game and hope for a draw to come out. And it's just kind of bad beats that you don't get that draw in that point.
Yeah. And honestly, like in that second one, because of the scuffed hand shuffle, it's almost like not.
He didn't deserve it.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like a non-issue because like typically you just wouldn't really have a hand anymore. So you wouldn't have had those cards to be cast and countered and removed and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think it's kind of like null and void on that one. But the first one with the Aragorn, the Uniter, is weird. Is so weird. I don't know. Strange.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, what do we think?
Very strange.
What do we think about the assault rating on this one?
That Aragorn shit would make me fucking crazy, man. Like if someone countered my tutor that's an X = 2 and they're like, he's fucking winning, I'd be like, you don't know how my deck works, dude. Chill.
Hashtag Pact for points. Save the Pact.
Don't start that hashtag.
Please don't.
Hashtag ban
Please
Pact. That's what we're gonna start. Yeah.
For points.
No.
I kind of like it. It's kind of catchy.
God. Yeah, this one's definitely the saltiest of the ones that we've talked about today, in my opinion. I don't know if Yah, do you agree with that?
Yeah, probably. Right. For me, it's the
This man just doesn't know salt. Jordon didn't cast it. He's not salty.
Yeah.
He's wait, what's the name of the guy who did this?
Jordon?
Fuck that guy. All right, it's salty.
First one, I agree. Like that one would definitely probably be salt inducing. But like at the end of the day, like something they said in the story was like how they played a 4-hour day. And I'm gonna be honest with you, a 4-hour day is like kind of a short cEDH day, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of short. And I think that when new people get into cEDH, right, like, and especially going from how like most people play, like you all do, and then going into a tournament, like there is that the emotional toll, right, that you go through, and they described it in their story. And I think that this was a good hazing salt, right? Like this is a salt that you feel after end of the day, and you're washing your face, and you kind of taste some of that salt. Like that's what this is for me. It's like this is a good hard day of us playing cEDH in the salt mines of cEDH. That's what it is for me.
Yeah.
Just a good day.
It is also that crystallized, like needing to play the tournament is something that gets people salty about cEDH in general. Yeah. So I think there's a granule of salt in the fact that maybe this is an appropriate play as well, and that tournaments are structured to incentivize something like this at times.
Agreed.
Yeah, playing to that like meta game of the tournament structure is weird and can definitely make for plays, you know, like what we've been talking about, make for plays that you're like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, I'm playing for the draw, baby. Back for points, hashtag.
Take back for points. Well, Sam, is it that
Tony?
time of the fucking week?
Tony, I think it is that time of the week.
Oh, shit, baby. Well, fucking lay it on me. What time is it?
It's the time of the week that comes every week.
Every motherfucking week, baby.
It's the time of the week where we say, Mike.
Mike.
What's the salty card of the week, Mike?
Doing it a little differently this week. This week we're playing That's a Salty Card ?
What? Does not compute. Dude, can I still win?
Get the lawsuit in the mail. Players are salty. Oh, very salty. Hating my stacks again. Never pay tax again. Shouting no fair again. Wow. That's it. It's a short one.
Perfect.
Hey, that was beautiful.
Perfect and fitting. That's amazing.
Beautiful.
Papa Loves Mambo, Papa Loves Salt is this one by Perry Como, requested from our patron, the Crimson Chariot. Thanks, dude. Appreciate the lyrics, appreciate the concept. I do like that song. It's very good. All right, Mike, back to your segment, please, sir.
Well, we're taking a leaf out of the That's a Good Card podcast, and we're doing this one a little differently. So I'm going to give you...
Mike. It was a good salty song.
It was an excellent one. I said it already.
We were all clapping and cheering.
Everyone was thinking about it.
My
people are loving it.
Is the same still over here.
I let the story writer earlier, like 3 stories ago, give you enough gas on your salty song, so I figured we'd let it lie there.
It'll never be enough.
So I'm gonna give you a name of a card. It is a salty card. It's in the top 300 salty cards, and then I'm gonna ask one of you for a description, the card type. One of you for the text of the card, one of you for the flavor text, and one of you for the art.
Okay.
Can we dibs shit?
Real quick, for people who don't know, this is a reference to a segment on That's a Good Card podcast, where at the end of every episode, they have a segment called That's a Good Card ? Where they give like the name of a card and you have to guess all of these attributes of the card. And generally speaking, you know, you craft some like abomination of a card. It's very interesting.
It's always obscure. We try to make it as obscure as possible so that the guesses are really rough.
Well, I'm hoping this is obscure enough, despite being a salty card, that you guys will not know what it is. So the card name is Pendril Mists. I want one of you. I want Sam. You know this card?
I'm aware of it.
Give me the mana value.
I have no idea.
Pendril Mists, is it? I want to say it's either 2 blue or 2 green. Let's go with 2 green.
Whoa.
2 green. Okay. And then Tony, I want what you think the type and text of this card is.
Not the flavor text, just the text.
I'm giving the fun
card.
ones. I'm giving the fun ones to Kyle and Yah.
All right. So the type, it's definitely an enchantment.
Okay.
You got this, Tony.
Pendril Mists enchantment.
You can phone a friend if you need. If you need to consult the class.
I'm
allowed
just
to.
like, you picked the wrong guy to do rules text.
It's okay. Fuck it up, Tony. That's the whole point.
Help him out. Help him out. You can phone a friend.
I'll phone
you
Yah
got this.
for some help.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. We are going off the rails here then.
Yeah.
It's probably Pendril Mists is the name of the card.
Pendril Mists.
You said 2 green, Sam?
Yeah.
Yes, 2 green and
For an
enchantment.
enchantment.
This is what we have so far.
Enchantment. Oh, I mean, it sounds like something you would sacrifice to prevent combat damage.
Ooh, I
it
like that. It's like a
does.
fog. Ooh,
But
okay,
the
okay.
fog on a stick, but there's got to be some other thing to it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, like somebody gains life.
Oh yeah,
green.
you gain 3 life when it enters.
Yeah,
and you can
green.
What is this, a white card?
Oh my god,
That's better than healing salve, dude. That's pushed.
All right. I need the flavor text and art from Kyle here.
Okay. The flavor text of Pendril Mists.
Yes.
As they walked into the forest, nothing could touch them.
Wow, dude. Holy
Oh,
fuck.
that's pretty
Whoa.
solid.
That's very good.
Chill.
That's
Chatterfang.
fucking sick.
The artwork is just like, I'm thinking it's a lot of green, like it's got to be like a lot of lush green foliage, right? And then the mists themselves, I'm thinking this might be a blue card. So I'm gonna like the mist is gonna be blue, but the foliage and the lushness is green.
Ooh.
And the mist is kind of like it's kind of like a tornado, you know what I mean? So they're like little tornadoes, like a bunch of little tornadoes. The mist is kind of swirling in tornado form.
Really
That's
beautiful.
my
Nice.
Iris
Thank you.
Wizards.
And then Chatterfang is also kind of in the background.
Chatterfang is also there under the trees.
yeah.
Iris, Gavin.
Well, excellent. You guys have assembled something that's not quite it, but I love that. It's
What percentage is it?
so we'll go through it. So there is some swirly mist in the art, but the
Nice.
mist itself is green, and
Bummer.
Dang
it's
it.
it's more of a miasma sort of mist.
Miasma.
Like a fart.
So like a it looks like
miasma?
it's maybe bubbling out of a cauldron or something like that, but I don't think it is. But it's that kind of mist. And yeah, we'll go through it from top to bottom. So it's 3 and a blue for an
I
for an
told you it was
enchantment.
blue.
And now for the card
Oh, I got it right because I'm a
Text.
fucking Chad.
You did. Good job, Tony.
is
Proud of you, bud.
Pendril. Does Pendril call to mind any other cards?
Oh, fucking Tabernacle, baby. Fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, so the card text for this is each creature gains during your upkeep, pay 1 or bury this creature. Or sacrifice this creature.
Oh,
unless
it
you
is a
pay 1.
salty card. Damn.
Tabernacle.
Yep.
Tabernacle on an enchantment.
On an enchantment. And the
Ah.
flavor text is as insubstantial and as insistent as appetite.
Ooh.
That's
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
Very
Did Chatterfang
green.
say that?
like a professional.
Yeah, Chatterfang.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice.
Chatterfang, Michael Scott.
The art has a bunch of like pirates getting like gassed out.
Oh, yeah. I'm pulling it up
hell
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah,
That's
they're not
pretty
having a
cool.
good time.
Actually, I like
yeah,
the
that's
art.
pretty fucking sick. I like that.
Yeah, shout out Tony. You got the enchantment. Good job.
I mean,
did.
somebody's got to do it right.
yeah, none of us got it right, except for who the quote was from. That's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Quote and type.
And Chatterfang is in the art, which is crazy. But
Yeah, he's there. Just got to squint.
So, Kyle, would this card make you salty?
Is Pendril Mists a salty card? Yes, absolutely. Anything with the Tabernacle effect? Are you kidding me? This is such a salty card. Like, it sucks for cEDH. I'll be clear, but
Yeah.
but for any other non-cEDH thing, I feel like if I saw this being played across for me, I'd be like, "What the is this?"
Yeah, your feelings?
It's pretty salt-inducing, right? Like, especially in a casual setting, paying 4 for something like this, not great for cEDH, but for casual, yeah, I can definitely see it.
Tony?
I was in a game and this fucking guy, fucking Jordon, he's always got to fucking play the blue too. Like, what a fucking dick.
He loves blue. How did you know?
And he played this and I was like, this fucking sucks ass. So yeah, honestly though, like, fuck blue. Like, this is, I don't like them. I feel like why is this in blue? But it feels sort of fair-ish that it's 4 mana to do this. Like, I would be annoyed if it came down, but like, I get to choose what I'm going to keep at least. Like, it's going to be annoying to do it every turn. It's going to be weird, but I am going to focus that person down. But by the time they've got 4 mana, I hopefully also have 4 mana, and it's not like some bullshit. It's definitely soul-inducing. People are not going to like it, but it's way better than fucking Tabernacle.
Yeah.
Which is what I just immediately go to like compare it to.
Wait, Tony, you know what we actually have to think now that we're both Corvold pilots. We love this. Are you kidding me? It's giving us a sack outlet.
It's giving me
for
draw.
our creatures. Oh my gosh, we can sack our impulsive pilferers.
You don't sack them, you bury them, Kyle. It's different.
No, that's the
In upkeep though. It's so slow.
Oh yeah. True.
And then you could bring them all back with the Helen back too.
Oh, dude.
Oh, nice.
You mean no rest for the wicked?
Yeah,
that is the one I meant. Dang. Which type? Okay. Awesome. Well, now it's time to guess.
I have to fucking talk, you dumb bitch.
No, Sam. No. You don't get to do it.
You kind of took over Tony's.
I said yeah.
Sam, you've been on the podcast before, and Tony and Mike haven't, so you got to let them have this one, dude.
That's true.
They're missing cues left and right.
Once every 170 episodes, Mike gets to just deny you the chance.
Well, we're not at 170 yet.
Sam, what do you think about this one?
So obviously, Tabernacle effects are really awful to play through, and they suck. I think the thing that actually makes me salty about this is that it's $5, and that someone might, like some casual player, may stumble across this and put it into a deck without really thinking and cause a horribly salty experience where, like, you're not stumbling across a Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale because they're fucking $3,000. Like, when you have a Tabernacle, you know you're playing a Tabernacle.
Yeah.
But you might just be like, yeah, I'm playing my Muldrotha deck. I'm going to put Pendrell Mist in there. I can sack my creatures and recast them on my turn. So I think that this is, I mean, obviously it's salty, but I think there's a second layer of the salt here where, like, you might see this at a casual table and someone may not know the power of which they wield. How do you feel about this, Mike? See, we both still had to go.
Yeah, I know. It's true. It's fine. I think that 4 mana for this isn't even the worst thing.
It's terrible.
I think it's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be a good time, but it is far enough off rate that it's not going to really work in a competitive setting. And by the time someone is paying 4 mana for an effect like this, you probably are getting to choose at least 4 creatures you want to keep around. So, you know, there's some level of, like, you probably have the ability to answer to this. It's not Tabernacle coming down turn 1 and shutting off your ability to keep any creature around for the rest of the game.
For sure. It's fair. It's just a dick move.
Yeah. Agreed.
So many salty cards are in that category.
Yeah.
So I want you all to take your guesses on where you think this lands in the top 300 cards. If you're listening at home, get your pencil and paper out, get your papyrus.
Your abacus.
Draw in the sand with a stick. If you're at the gym, pour out your protein powder and shape it into some numbers.
If you're at the climbing gym or in the minecart, pour your chalk onto the ground and
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit out a turd in the shower.
shit out.
The listeners are going to have no idea what that was from.
That's getting cut.
Yeah,
That's getting
I got. No, it's not. Sam, I got you. If you're interested in hearing the most diabolical stray grains of your life, subscribe to the Howling Salt Mine Patreon and check out the most diabolical story you've ever listened to.
Yeah,
all right, we'll leave it at that.
Wild.
A teaser.
All right, I got my number ready, Mike.
Yeah, I'm
All
locked
right.
and loaded.
Me too.
All right, Kyle, hit me first.
288.
Yeah?
270.
270. Tony?
219, baby.
219. And
Ooh.
Sam?
241.
241. Tony takes it.
Get
Damages.
Tony takes it.
Tony takes it. It
As
is
it should be.
227.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Close. How close is that? How close are we? I think Tony was
I don't
closer
know.
than me.
Tony's closer though.
Quick maths.
Is that 240
That's as
something?
far as I got.
219.
Yeah, I guess we're way close. You're way closer. Yeah.
It's not even a question. I don't even know why he was counting.
Well, one is 14 off and one is 8 off, right?
Hell yeah.
9, 8
Nice.
off. Yeah.
Fuck
So
yeah.
it's not anywho. Yeah. 227. I agree. I think that the cost is probably why it sneaks onto this list. I bet people are more likely to see this. It is a reserve list card, though.
Wild.
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Stock
Yeah.
up, folks.
Stock up on your Pendril Mists.
Stock. Cash out your 401k. Buy Pendril Mists.
Only going to go up.
Not a financial advisor.
Only going up.
Oh my God.
Mike, where do we see this? I'm curious. Is anyone playing this in any decks, or is this like a 0%? You know,
How many bracket 5 lists are playing Pendril Mists? That's what I want to know, Yah. You're the guy who looks that up. You got us.
Pendril Mist. Okay, yeah. Let me give a second here. Pendril
so
Mist,
few,
bracket
dude.
5.
People run it in Ishtola.
Oh, really?
Bracket 5. Yeah.
Ishtola, really?
That's the new cat girl.
Yeah.
It's the new cat girl. They run it in Oloro. Makes sense. You're not playing
Oh.
Oloro. They run it in Taniwa, the one that makes all your
Fucking
lands
Taniwa.
phase out. I don't know why. Probably just Tabernacle Kindred lists running that. Grand Arbiter, Augustine, of course.
But
Urza.
again, what's the percentage of decks that have this in it?
It is not in many decks. Of the 3 million potential decks for it on EDH Rec, it is in 2,467 of them.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what I thought.
So it's not seeing a lot of play.
It's in 41 bracket 5 decks on Moxfield.
Wow. That's more than I thought.
Wow.
Yeah.
We
I
won't be
just saw that
covering this
too.
card anytime soon.
It's also in 41 decks that are Ishtola decks. So maybe it's snuck into an early
Interesting.
list and has been copied across.
I don't know, man. There's a pretty slick Taniwa cEDH list that I'm looking at right now. It's pretty fucking rad with your 5 mana commander that phases all your lands out on upkeep.
I love that it's
Ooh.
also listed highly on a Zur deck, but it is not a tutorable target for Zur.
No, not at all.
Well,
you just cheated out. You cheated out in a different way. This
Yeah.
Taniwa deck has thrown me for a fucking loop. It's so weird.
Down the rabbit hole. I don't even know what that deck is.
It was
I've
made
never heard of that
3
in my
months
life.
ago. Someone is jamming this now. Someone is playing this. This is wild.
You stumbled upon the
Yeah.
secret tech.
I literally have, dude. Holy shit.
well, that wraps it up for That's a Salty Card ? Thank you for playing.
Well, thanks, Mike. That was a lovely salty card. And thank you, Kyle, Yah. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We really appreciate it. It was fun having you guys here in the mine. Where can people find you if they want to listen to more of that Tag C content? If they want to hear how great Bright Glass Gear Hulk is, where can they find that content?
Well, of course, they could check the description here for a link to that exact video that Sam is talking
Hell
about.
yeah.
But we're not only on YouTube, but we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the other places that you can find podcasts. But yeah, we'll give you a link tree where you can find all the places where we're located, as well as a link hopefully to our Discord. So if you're interested in some cEDH stuff, check that out too. We have a nice little community brewing there. And yeah, that's it. Check out the links to our podcast. Whoop, whoop.
Love it. Well, thanks again, guys. I mean, this was super, super fun jamming with you. Can people find your Mox fields on your link tree?
Yes.
I don't think that they're there, but that's a great idea, Sam, that you should add
One day,
our
they will
mods
be
on
on there.
Very different answers. Yeah, I was like, yes.
yes.
And then
No.
I was like,
Why don't you
no.
guys guess who's in charge of the link tree?
Incredible. Cool. Because I want to look at your lists also, and I'm sure other people do. Well, thanks again to you guys, and thanks to everybody out there for tuning into another episode of the Howling Saltmine podcast. You know we're going to shout out our Salt Packet Plus tier members that we got. And this week we have Fatmas Prime, Rothbox, Sire Speedy, Bobo Fett, Brimstone, Captain Cross, Elgo Fogel, Clearbrook, D. Beeson, Gilgamesh, Doug's Dad, Bark Bark,
Bark, bark.
Hez, Swankub, The Quiet One, and Vok. Thanks, y'all, for supporting us. We really, really appreciate you. And if you want more Howling Salt Mine in your lives, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Howling Salt Mine. You want to hear that really cursed stray grains? You want to hear all the other weird fucking stray grains that we've done? Hey, this is cool. We have over... Oh, I fucking pulled this together yesterday. Hold up.
It's over 9,000.
We have over 110 stray grains on our Patreon right now.
How many minutes?
I don't know. They're all like 2 to 15. So
1 million.
Or I think they're 3 to 15.
It's over 9,000.
It's a lot. It's a lot. We have 33 extra salts. There's probably like, I don't know, 60 hours of content on there. Like there's a lot. There's a lot of extra shit. So if you've already listened through the show, you want more content, check it out. We've got a great Discord community. We jam with our patrons once a month. We have an awesome cEDH league that's been going on right now. And when it's done, we're probably going to have another one that starts up because it's just been really cool. And it's just a good time. Check it out. It's fun. Another way that you can support the show is to buy our merchandise, which you can find our shirts at Bonfire. You can find our Dragon Shields on the Dragon Shield website. Pretty cool. They sell our sleeves now. You can also use our code at checkout, Stay Salty, all one word, all lowercase, to get a little bit of cash off, which I don't think you actually get when you do our sleeves, because then we would just be double dipping. But if you buy other shit from Dragon Shields, you will get that discount. And our sleeves are just already pretty cheap anyway. So check it out. It's pretty cool. I think they're $20, which is kind of nuts for custom sleeves. That's cheaper than what we were selling them when we were selling them on our website. What else? Oh, and you can also check out our playmats over on Jank Mats. We've got the nice, thick, lovely playmats that we love. Super fun. They hold up really, really well. They're pretty much all I play on these days. So check them out. Good stuff. Send us your salty stories. We love to hear your salt, whether it's about cEDH or casual magic. You can send it on our website. We've got a form on there you can fill out, or you can email it to us at our Gmail, which is thehowlingsaltmine@gmail.com. Give us a 5-star review in your favorite podcast app of choice. Follow us on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Do all the things. Hit all the buttons. Engage with the algorithm. It really goes a long way to advertise the podcast to other people, boost us in the algorithm at large, and find new listeners. It's going to grow the mind. We don't advertise. It's all word of mouth. So, or word of click or whatever. Click of mouse. Word of mouth and click of mouse. How about that?
Nice.
How about that? Put that on a fucking t-shirt.
That's great.
Do that stuff. It's really going to help us. We appreciate it. And last but not least, you know we got to shout him out. Our buddy, Devin Burnett, for giving us our beautiful podcast art that we rock every single motherfucking week.
Who the fuck do you think you are? Give me taking my line. What
Tony,
is this?
I'm just, it's late, man. I'm just doing my thing. I'm sorry.
You're not doing your thing. You're doing my thing.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Do the line right.
Don't do this in front of Kyle and Yah.
Oh no. Oh no.
What do I usually say? Oh yeah, if you're ever in Nashville, North Carolina, hit him up and get a tattoo because he's a really cool guy.
10,000 subscribers are bust.
Indeed. Well, thanks again, guys.
Thank you so much for having us. Oh my gosh,
you.
it's just such a
blast.
pleasure.
This was very, very fun.
It was like I said before.
Tony.
Tony's gonna keep you
I love
humble,
you guys,
know?
actually.
Tony's gonna give you a single 1-star review just to keep you humble, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, we already have one of those. Don't worry about that. It probably was Tony. No, actually, it was probably Jordon. Damn it, Jordon.
It was.
Jordan.
That was a good dry run. Are we ready to do this for real now? It's like, I'm finally in a group.
Yeah, we're gonna redact that name, right, guys? Right?
No, don't redact the name. I said it. I will wear it proudly.
Yeah, that was the test run of the episode, and now we're going to start recording the real one.
Perfect.
We'll do the real take. Well, thanks again, guys, and thanks again, everybody out there, for listening. And as always, stay salty, and don't forget to draw an additional card during your draw step.
It's the Howling Salt Mine. The Howling Salt Mine.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a gremlin boy.
It's easy, man. We just don't invite Mike on, and you say wiener jokes. I've literally just been tinkering with decks all fucking day.
I've been tinking my decks all day long.
I've been tinking my dinks all day. I've been tinkering with my dinkering all fucking day.
There we go. Now he's got it.
My computer room is like the only room that doesn't have ventilation.
Ooh.
So
Okay,
she
fuck, dude.
my wife just stashes me away, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I also have
I
the cat litter boxes down here too. So I'm just
nice,
in a
yeah.
I'm just in a
steamy
a
cat
swamp.
piss.
You can
Yeah.
huff. You can huff that stink the whole episode, dude.
It's rough.
I do think many people immediately, not even in
Any
necessarily
PB?
many PB, weepy deepy. Holy shit! My phone just thought I said Siri somehow and is going crazy.
We can't do that again, Tony.
Yeah.
I didn't
We
mean
can't
to, like,
do this
it was
again.
happening on my
People
desk.
did not love it.
People loved it. The people at home fucking loved it.
loved it.
I'm so sorry about that.
You fucking should be, dude. Well, damn. Now that we've made Kyle weep, because I want
into the episode.
I want that to be. I want that to be in the episode.
It won't be. It'll be a
should
blooper.
It
It'll be a
definitely
blooper.
could be.
I'll give you a little bit. I'll give you something.